first of all, sorry for being half an hour late. And thank you for coming. Thank you for all of you for coming. This amazing dress is Tuana's idea, obviously. For in 100 years, I would never pick something that looks like this, but she did, and if she puts it on me, I'm wearing it. So anything I wear tonight, it's Tuana, top to toe, just Tuana, and she is so good at what she does. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, in the thing over there, and I'm like, this is so Christmas. Look at it. Girls, you are about to have the most awesome PG time ever. So if you're excited, we're gonna get started the way that Christmas shows should all get started, and that's with a sing-along. Yes. All right, so if you have a favorite Christmas carol, shout it out and we'll sing it together. Really, Shiki? Since you came up with it, since Michelle came up with the Christmas carol, I threatened her all day, and we are gonna call Michelle. Come here. And she's gonna lead us in "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" and a sing-along. Now you gotta sing at the top of your lungs, because what we're trying to do in this room right now is just get the Christmas vibe, right?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy.
Let's sway our shoulders.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, you guys look so cute.
Glad tidings.
Glad tidings to you, wherever you are. Glad tidings for Christmas and a happy New Year.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas
and a happy New Year. Thank you, Shiki. That was awesome and amazing. Okay, tell you what the whole podcast today is about. I thought that it made me a little bit sad because I realized a lot of people don't have Christmas memories. You don't have favorite Christmas memories. And I asked some of my girls, I was like, what is your favorite Christmas memory? And they didn't know. Or they couldn't remember anything that they wanted to share with me. And I realized it's probably because they didn't have parents like mine or a godmother like mine who said to me, you don't have to remember everything. You just have to remember one thing. And when you come across those moments in your season, hold them. Take your time, notice it, notice where you are, notice who you're with, notice how you feel, and take note of it. She says, and this is so funny because she told me 20 years from now, you'll never forget that moment. And I found now that I'm 46, those are the only moments I remember from being 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't remember anything else, but I remember the one moment I caught it. I know where I was, I know who I was with, I know what I did, and I know how I felt. And those have become the most precious moments of my entire life. In case you've lived your whole life without taking time to reflect on those things, start this year. If you have children, do that for them this year. If you go back in your own memory and there are things that come back to your recollection over and over, you know why? It's because you took the time, maybe subconsciously, but you took the time to think, this is a thing for me. I'm enjoying this. I'm loving this. But as humans, if we don't, those things slip us. We forget them, and they'll never come back to us. So right now, we want to invite Wayo to get ready, and she's going to come and sing for us. Put your hands together for Wayo!
Wow, this is so good. Pastor Sharo, you're like the best. You are like the best, and I really thank God for you. I thank God for Preacher Girl because those weekly podcasts, it really helps, you know. And thanks for saying yes. Your obedience, it means the world to so many people, and we could never thank you enough. Thank you is just not enough. Well, we can just say hallelujah to Jesus because it's because of him that she's able to do what she's doing for so many people, and we're grateful. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and I personally give honor and praise to Jesus for being here in this spot right here, right now, in this moment, still breathing, still have my lungs, and hallelujah to Jesus. So let's just praise him and just worship him just for a moment and just give him the highest note of praise. You can go ahead. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. You've been so faithful to us, Lord. Hallelujah. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a girl like me. See, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Once was blind, but now I see, now I see. Oh, what a night that baby was born, the Son of God, Savior of all. They didn't know that you were the Christ. You came to redeem us. You came to save. See, I can't describe all that you are. You gave your life just to save mine. Amazing grace, how sweet, how sweet, how sweet it is. Such a gift, and I am forever, forever grateful. How great is the Lord, he's so worthy. See, my God is worthy, is my God, he is King of all. We sing hallelujah. My God is, he's Jehovah. Oh, my God is, he's the Lord of it all. My God is, he's great, and he's King of all kings. Come on, lift it up. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You're so worthy, Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We sing all around the world. Lift it up. He's so mighty, he's so great. Yes, he is. Amazing grace, how sweet, how sweet it is. You saved a PG like me. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All year long, you guys get to see the PG podcast, and you don't know, you kind of know Fanny and Shania, who really do all the work, and then I just come here and talk, which is a pretty easy thing. But, and so they hate this, but I told them today, I'm gonna bring them up, and I'm gonna talk to them right here. So, I'm going to start by inviting Shania, who is our social media director here at Hope NYC, and really the only social media director at Preacher Girl. So, and my favorite thing is how non-nervous she looks right now. All right, so I told Shania I would start by asking her to share her favorite Christmas memory, since that's where we're going to.
My favorite Christmas memory is right before Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve. And it's just a little tradition that me and my mom always did. And she would always let me open one gift before Christmas Day. So right, like 11 o'clock, midnight, we would open that one gift. And it may not be the biggest gift, but it was always the excitement for that one gift before Christmas. And it took me a while to remember, like what you were saying, but that, because we did it consecutive years, I always looked forward to it. So now I can remember that. And we still do that. So I'm excited for this year to see what she has for me.
I love it. So Shania is not yet 20 years old. Are you just turned 20? Oh my! What she does, maybe my favorite thing is that she doesn't know the value really of what she does, and every time I try to bless her or try to say thank you, she's like, no, I don't deserve that, which I don't care whether she says that or not. I'm just saying that it's so easy to work with you because you're such a humble person, and I hope that never ever changes. So tell the girls, what do you do for Preacher Girl during the year?
Thank you, Pastor Sharo, for those kind words. During the year, I oversee the social media platforms. That includes Instagram, Facebook groups, and now we have TikTok. And I just get the opportunity to express what Preacher Girl is doing digitally, so that we have PGs all across this globe, not just here in New York, but across the States and Trinidad and so many other countries. So we keep everybody in the loop in this awesome digital online community, and we get to show PGs through the Instagram posts that there's so much more than we think there is to being a PG, unconventional ways to express God through how we dress and the fun we have through family, through celebration. So it's such an amazing outlet. It may not always be my personal posting, but it's such an expression of what God is doing through Pastor Sharo and through the Preacher Girl community, and extends far beyond what we can even see. So I get to do that. I get to do fun things for like the virtual summit, like get to talk to our guests and send them questions and build content. And if you guys know me, I'm like a Bible nerd. So I love when we get to do content creation, pull things from the Word, and make episode content out of it, make workbooks. Yeah, that's fun to me. So, all things content creation, social media management, that's what I get to do, and I get to work with this awesome woman of God, which is the best part. And she did not pay me to say that.
When I found Shania, I found somebody who, I didn't find her, God sent her, but she likes to do the stuff I don't like to do. Like, she doesn't do it because I asked her to or because I need the help there. She does it because she likes. That kind of blew my mind because I want to do workbooks. I just hate them, and I want to do social media posting. I hate it. But, so I thought I was imposing on her a lot and trying to make her do my dirty work, until I realized, wait a minute, this is her thing. And so I really thank God for her. And without her, PG wouldn't exist. It just wouldn't. And because I'm not a consistent poster, and even though it feels like I put my life on Facebook, it's her. She's the one that does most of my Instagram posts, most of my comments, most of my Facebook things. And so I'll tell you something really funny. Somebody told me one time, they said, you put your face on the puzzle piece. You know, we give away a puzzle piece for everybody that gave money to the toy drive. I can't, and they said something to the effect of, only you would do that. And I was like flabbergasted because I didn't. They did that. And 9 times out of 10, my team is so able and they're so good at what they do that they anticipate things and they do things and they don't need my permission because they have my blessing. And so they're equipped to make decisions that they can make on their own without me having to fine tune and nitpick. And you know, so I trust that when people see what they see, it doesn't come across that I'm trying to be vain, but it comes across that somebody is really caring enough to do this when I'm not looking. And so Shania, tell them what your hopes and dreams are, you know, what you see your future and the kingdom looking like.
So I guess I'm very young, so I feel like I'm just getting started, but God has been so faithful to me. I am only 20 years old, and if it wasn't for Preacher Girl, for Hope NYC, just for what God is doing through this house, I don't know where I would be. I would be a lost soul, but a lost soul with no career, no hopes or dreams in God for the future. I went through so many things thinking I was going to be this and that, a doctor, a design, all these other things. But God has really placed me where He has put the giftings inside of me and given me a space to express that. So I can't mark it out for you and say, well, I'm going to be this by this time. But I know day by day, God is letting me go further in what He has for me. I'm pursuing a degree in digital marketing. And that is a big deal because I would never have said I could be a digital marketer. I just totally crossed it off the list. And then I realized, hey, I'm kind of doing that already. It's like I stumbled into it, and that's just what God does. And I stumbled into this church, stumbled into Preacher Girl. I mean, like, really just never, it wasn't something concrete or like I got hired for it. God picked me for this. He placed me here. He sent me here, and I'm just so grateful that He did.
Can you just say thank you to Shania? You're amazing. Good job. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that Terry's here. And I think it's so fitting that it was Wayu that first introduced me to her music. Yeah, because Terry, she didn't do it on purpose. Let me tell you how it happened. She was listening to something of yours, and on her Facebook or something, I saw it. And then I clicked off and heard Metawase for the first time, and then thought, oh my gosh, love this girl, gotta have her over here. Then my Fee and Kai girl had a hookup, and I got to talk to Terry, and then she came to my conference, and the rest is history. She has some beautiful music, Christmas music. You got to go get it. Both of them do. And are the songs on iTunes? Every Preacher Girl needs to go buy it. I'm going to share it on the Preacher Girl Facebook tonight. Make her welcome, Terry Khan.
Praise the Lord, Preacher Girls. I love you guys so much. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be here. I feel like you guys are all family, especially when we're fighting over Fee and Kai on Facebook. But Pastor Sharo mentioned that Christmas movies is like her thing when it comes to Christmas time. And for me, Christmas music, like I just cannot wait. They used to start it like the day after Thanksgiving. Now, like as soon as Halloween is over, the Christmas music comes. So I just put together some of my favorite Christmas songs. And you guys know it. I just want you to sing along with me. Amen? Praise God. Come on, just snap like this. There you go. Oh, come, O ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. There you go. Adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Cry. Come on, keep snapping. Oh, Christ the Lord. We honor you, we worship you, Christ the Lord. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Glow, oh, 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 Gloria in excelsis Deo. Glow, oh, oh, glow, oh, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come on, catch it. You got it? Glow, in excelsis Dei. Come on, sway with me now. Oh, ooh. And he shall reign forever and ever. 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 Listen. Hallelujah. Put your hands together. Hallelujah. 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 What is the highest praise? I give you the highest praise. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. To the King of Kings, you reign forever. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. How long will he reign? How long will he rule? Yeah. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Give him the glory. Give him the praise. Yeah. Hallelujah. I hear you. Yeah. Keep singing. Hallelujah. Keep singing. Hallelujah. Come on, let's give him the highest praise. We praise you, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, forever and ever. We lift your name on highest. Hallelujah. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Let's continue to lift up the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords forever and ever.
I'm going home after this. And I don't have to do nothing. Just wash my face and get in my bed. But if you don't get these jammies, don't say I didn't tell you. You need to, because I wasn't kidding. I have them in every color. I'm not trying to advertise. They said, how do you want to end the show? And I said, I want to end the show comfortable. And if my living room was big enough, I'd want to end the show on the floor, on cushions, with blankets, with hot chocolate, and with you. That's how I'd want it, and I need whipped cream. Nice. God is good. All the time. Oh. But hold on. I mean, I can't get too comfy, but Pastor Kurt watches this podcast. He'll be like, actually ask. Look, I try to talk in this. I actually tried to ask him to come and guest on the show today, but he was so tired. But he's gonna watch this, and I hope he knows that we all, especially me, wish him the best, most amazing Christmas that he's ever had in his whole life, and I wish he could have been here. But here's a quiz. Here's your chance to win these jammies for free. Or some other PG merch, and so it's PG trivia, and that's how I'm gonna end in a little minute, right after I talk to the one girl who makes all of this possible all year long, my resident genius friend, and soon to be, ridiculously wealthy movie maker. No, you guys don't even understand, because when The Chosen first got introduced, it was a church play. Right? It was a church play. Now it's the second episode of what was just supposed to be a pilot. The second season of episodes. And now it opened in movie theaters, the Christmas special, to sold out box offices all over America, except in New York, where people don't do a whole lot of Jesus. But in the South especially, they sold out. And I was looking at an interview by the producer, the director, and he was saying the millions and millions of dollars that they've made was never an intention. It was a side effect. Because all they wanted to do was spread one particular message that the whole world needs to know. That's it. Jesus came and the whole world needs to know. That was it. There's one line in the movie that gets my heart every single time in the series. Somebody goes up to Jesus and they say to him, "You're so different." And Jesus looks the guy in the eye and he says, "You better get used to different." Get used to different. Because Jesus was about to change everything. And that's my favorite thing about Christmas. It's why I don't care what people say. And it's why I never stop, even if they say, this might be pagan or the Christmas tree in Jeremiah. No, I don't care. Because Jesus came and the world needs to know. The world needs to know. And he's famous now, but one day this girl's gonna be famous if Jesus tarries. Welcome, Fanny. If you've ever felt like she passed you straight, right? And she didn't say hi to you, it's not because she has a bad attitude. It's because she can only think of one thing at a time. Literally, she does not multitask, and she is very, very focused on only one thing. And I know her well enough to know. Today, I spent all day downstairs where she couldn't find me, so I didn't have to get in her wrath. But we know each other that way, right? So Fanny, tell us your favorite Christmas memory.
So thank you for having me here.
Not movie, memory.
My favorite Christmas memory was my dad. We used to wake up early in the morning, and it was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and my dad used to get us dressed, and he used to take us to a bookstore. And in French Guiana, it doesn't snow or anything like that, but in that bookstore that they had, for some reason it used to snow, and it used to look just like wintertime, like how it looks just like here. And he used to have us pick up any book that we wanted in the store because he wanted us to be educated. And so we would go, and I would pick my favorite coloring book, and that's it.
Wow, I love that memory. That's such a good memory. When did you? I know what your favorite movie is. Her favorite movie, not Christmas movie, just altogether, 100% favorite movie is Home Alone.
All year long.
She watches it in July, May, September, all year long, every year. Sometimes she just puts it on while she's editing.
Yes.
But when did you know you were gonna make movies?
So Pastor had this idea. I think it was in 2013, and Pastor wanted somebody that would do What's Happening at Hope. And yes, and I had to figure out how to use the cameras and how to get people to make the announcements and how to get the audio to work, and I didn't know anything like that. And for some reason that sparked something in me that I didn't know I had or that I liked. And when everything comes together at the end and the editing and when I'm done and when it shows, it just gives me a joy that nothing else does.
So, in January, Fanny's gonna enter a film festival. And she's gonna enter in the documentary category as a filmmaker. I want you girls to start praying now, because I believe it's just the beginning of great things. And so, Fanny, tell us. I mean, I'm telling them you're making a film, but tell them, just speak it into the atmosphere, what God's gonna do with you on film.
I think it started in 2018 when it was during the 18th day of the fast, and Pastor asked us to make a vision board. And usually, I'm not somebody that goes home and usually when I go home I just want to watch TV, but I felt the urgency to do that vision board. And then he said, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you're seeing? And I said, Lord, I want to spread your word. I want to spread your gospel. How is it that you're going to spread the gospel all over the world? And the only voice that I can think about that has the biggest voice on the earth right now is the media. And the media, it controls us and it controls our kids. And so I said, Lord, I want to use it to propagate your gospel. And to me, that was the only way that I can do that.
I am so glad that you got a chance to hear her, because you never get a chance to hear her. And she might not talk to me for the rest of the year, but it's okay. But so much work. Most of the times on a Monday night, she does not sleep. She stays here. So you can have a podcast by noon on Tuesday. And when I come to work at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, she's in her clothes from Monday. And then she goes home to shower and come back. And that's the kind of dedication that she has. And there are many people that I want to recognize for this podcast, but there's zero people that does as much as she does. And I love her for that. I said, see, it wasn't so bad. She said it was bad. I do want to especially mention, of course, Tawana, who always makes me look so good. I don't know. I do not have a stylist, right? She's not my stylist, but this lady is gifted. I told her, I said, 1 million people have tried to buy me something or put me in something, but there's never been a thing she's put on me that wasn't ridiculously good. When people find their niche like that, especially if it's a God-carved niche, You can't shake them from that, you know. They are so good. Speaking of niches, Sharo. Cheryl is a PhD in the wrong thing. She is miserable being a lecturer in university. You know where her joy is? This. Putting this stuff together, coming up with sets, and when you see a podcast and it looks so classy and you're like, where is that? It came from Cheryl's head. And she and Fanny fight a lot. Let me rephrase. Cheryl's fight everybody. But I really don't mind because at the end of the day, she does a fantastic job. And I appreciate her so much. That is the bare bones. That's the bare bones of a preacher girl. But, you know, if ever you have a t-shirt, if ever you have merch, you know, Michelle is the one who does it. I'll tell you a funny story and then we'll play this game. She's my money girl. I call her market lady. Her heart really is to do a great job at this and to really make it make what you get worth it, and to make sure that when you take it home, you're proud of it. And make sure that I don't look bad when the stuff looks bad. And so I appreciate you, and I appreciate all you do for Preacher Girl all year long. The whole staff of Hope NYC. Ruthie, like literally, she's a coup of this church, and she has her hand in Preacher Girl, like today, hyping you up. Whatever I ask that girl to do, she will gladly do it. Over the year, for everyone who has put a hand, all the ladies, Sister Shirley and Sister Lisa, all of those of you who worked here yesterday, Takeesh, and to make this church look beautiful and make this church look amazing. I love you so much, and I thank you for it. And I look forward to what God is going to do next year, because it's going to get better. It's going to be bigger. And wherever I go in the world, there were so many women this year in Trinidad when I went that came up to me. And it was so strange, because usually they say prayer did this and Hope NYC did this. But you know, this year, a lot I was getting, if it wasn't for Preacher Girl, or it helped me through this, or and I realized something, that God could take something that a lot of people would just push aside and use it to minister and to change somebody's life. And if He will do that with anything, then we allow Him. We give Him permission. We give Him full access to our whole lives and everything. Make sure that above everything, you remember the way you would have felt if you walked in on a Savior baby. Just remember that. And if you can't find that feeling, go home, look up The Shepherds. Look up The Chosen, the episode called The Shepherds. And when you see their faces, it will somehow open your mind to what it feels like to really see God in the flesh. Make sure this season you don't make it about the money, don't make it about the stuff, don't make it about who didn't get you what you wanted, but make sure that Jesus is so much the center of everything you're doing, and not just, honor Him. Just honor Him. Even in your purchases, honor Him. Even in your get-togethers, honor Him. And if take moments in the mall to just drop on your knees and honor Him. Do that, and it will change this whole season into what it needs to be. I love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for an awesome...